Hi and welcome to the video of test taking strategies. So in this video we're going to be taking a look at the best way you can approach and write your tests. So just a quick note before we start, if you find that you're a little bit nervous, you've got those butterflies in your stomach while your teacher's handing out the test, just sit at your table and quietly take in deep breaths and release the breaths. It helps to calm your body down. Also, what you can do is give yourself a bit of a pep talk and say, I can do this, I know I can, I'm going to try my best. Also, you can do something that what top athletes do. When they visualize, they close their eyes and they picture themselves winning. Well, close your eyes and picture yourself getting an A on the test. It doesn't matter whether you get that A or not. What matters is that you are training your brain to believe that you can do it and putting your brain into a positive frame of mind before the test. All right, so let's take a look at what do you do when you get your test paper. The very first thing you need to do is read instructions. Don't ever think that you know what your teacher wants from you. You need to take a look. Does my teacher, is she going to be doing negative marking? Has he asked for margins to be placed in the test? Sometimes your teacher will say to you, only answer 2 out of these 3 questions. And also take a look and see if there are any instructions with regards to the diagrams. Must they be done in pencil? Must the labels be done in black pen? All right, very important to read the instructions so that you don't lose any marks. The next thing, you need to read through the whole paper before you start it. Read it from beginning to end. While you are reading through the paper, put a little tick or a little asterisk against all the questions that you are like, oh, this is so easy, this is great, I know this answer, because this is going to bring us to the next point. When you do your test, make sure you do all the easy questions first. And there's 2 reasons for this. The first reason is that it tricks your brain into believing that this test you're doing is really easy. And once again, it then makes your brain think, this is great, this is fun, I can do it. And then it helps you to tackle the more difficult questions at the end. Also, the second thing that it does is that it makes sure that you answer all the questions that you know that you're definitely going to be getting marks for. It's the worst feeling in the world that your teacher says pens down and you haven't finished the test and you notice that the last 2 questions were easy questions that you could have answered and you're now not going to get the points because you ran out of time. So make sure you do all the easy questions first. If you're answering on a piece of paper, all you need to do is just calculate and leave space for the questions that you're leaving out that you're going to come back to a little bit later. The next thing is make sure that you time manage. So take a look at your paper and decide how much time you're going to spend on each section and try and stick to that time so you can make sure that you don't run out of time. The next thing is read the entire question. So often I find that students, they read the first bit and they go, oh, I know what my teacher's going to ask, and they start answering and they haven't read the whole question, and the last part of the question then lands up being something important or something that changes the question completely. So make sure you read the question from beginning all the way to the end. And if necessary, what you can do is you can choose a keyword to underline the beginning and the middle and the end of the question. Also circle your question word, because what, when, how are going to make a big difference as to how you answer the question. And by underlining 3 keywords in the question, it makes sure that you read the whole question. The next thing is check your mark allocation. So guys, this is a really important part because the way that you answer a question is dependent on how many marks your teacher is going to give you. You don't want to spend 20 minutes on a 3-mark question. Also, you want to make sure that if a question is out of 2 marks, that you are only going to give 2 facts and not 1 fact. Or if a question is out of 8 marks or 20 marks, then you know you have to give a whole lot more information. Normally we take a look at a mark per fact. It can be a little bit different, but generally you can think of this out of 8 points, then you should at least give 8 facts in your answer. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you proofread. So what we say is you leave around about 10% of your time for proofreading. So that means if your test was 60 minutes long, in your time management, make sure that you leave about 6 minutes at the end to go over your paper, and make sure that you reread the instructions, try and do a couple of questions again to see that you get the same answer, and make sure that you have read your questions correctly. Good luck for your tests, guys.